I mean, I seen a girl. This is another thing I forgot to talk about. When I was in the houses, I saw this one girl, and I had seen her on TV, and I said to her, she still hasn't been found to this day. And she was a little girl that went missing from Bondi Beach area. She was there. She was in those rings with me. I seen her and I told her, "You're on TV," because I got to see bits and pieces of TV. Not that I was allowed to, but I did get to see her on TV. And I told her, I said, "I saw you on TV. The police are looking for you." And she told me they won't find me because my mum did it. My mum sold me. And she was so calm, not like the others. She wasn't screaming and distressed, and she was so calm. And I'll never forget that about her, how she was so calm. And she still hasn't been found. A man went to jail. He said he killed her. He never said where she was, and he's out of jail right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that little girl has never been found. But the honest to God truth is, either he's one of the predators. I don't know where to figure him out, because she told me that her mum had sold her, that it had happened many, many times before she ended up there. So I don't know where to put him. And when I seen him on TV go to jail and stuff, I remember ringing the police and saying, "This isn't true. This is not right. I don't know him." And she told me her mum did it. And they let him out a few years ago. He still has never said if where her body is. And the reason why he hasn't is because he didn't kill her. Somebody else did.
And he took the rap for
Um,
them.
he said that he did it, but he didn't, because I know for a fact he didn't. I know that her mum was owned an art gallery or something like that, and those art type people, not all of them. I'm not saying every art person, because I draw and stuff myself, but a lot of the high roller art galleries and stuff, they are connected to trafficking. Um, it's a lot of money that goes into it, like millions and billions of dollars, and that's why it's still happening, because police are bought. There's judges that abuse these, that are the clientele. The clientele of trafficking rings aren't like the next door neighbor. These are people that are judges, doctors, lawyers, professional people, because they are paying big money to get what they want or what they fantasize about. I was in mansions. I'm talking about, I know where a few of them are. I've gone down there just to look. And once I was going to burn one of them down. I was so angry. And it was the one that used to hurt me a lot. He was the one with all the equipment and stuff. And I caught a taxi down there, and that this is before Uber, so it was a taxi. I went down there and I walked to the waterfront. And I looked through, because when they live on the water, they often don't have curtains closed through the night until they go to bed, and then they close everything. So I could look in and see him as an old man with grandchildren running around, and I was going to burn that house down. That was in my head. I had in my bag. I was going to burn the house down. But when I looked in there, I saw what probably was his daughter and grandchildren or great grandchildren. I have no clue, because he's really, really old now. And I had to drag myself away from going to jail forever from killing them, because I always said that when I got older, I'm going to go get them. And you just get older and you realize that you can't really do that. And that's really disappointing.
Girl Samantha Knight pleaded guilty to a string of new charges. Samantha's mother was in court and spoke exclusively to Simon Boda.
For me and my family, we live with this every day. Always.
Tess Knight came to court today for her daughter Samantha.
I was here for her, I was here for all of the children, now young adults, that he's injured and their families. Hundreds of people.
9-year-old Samantha was killed by this man, Michael Anthony Guida, in 1986.
Simon, I've come here to, obviously, to witness the proceedings of the court, but I'm standing here representing all of the people that Guida has injured, all of the lives that he's torn apart. And he continues to do. He hasn't stopped.
The convicted pedophile was released from prison 3 years ago on a strict extended supervision order. He admitted killing Samantha but claimed it was an accident and has never revealed what he did with her body.
I could ask him, but I wouldn't have expected an answer. I don't. The man is a coward.
At the time, Tess Knight and his other child victims all warned that he still posed a risk to the community. Today, the 72-year-old pleaded guilty to 2 charges of breaching the supervision order by having accessed child abuse websites. It's the first time Tess Knight has laid eyes on him in years.
I know what he looks like now. I'll tell other people what he looks like. Doesn't matter because he's in prison for the time being. But he had changed his appearance since he left the prison. And he doesn't like to be visible. He doesn't like to be seen. And he's been seen.
Guida's lawyer, Ehab Gabash, told the court the offences were in the low to mid-range. But prosecutor Sergeant James Zhao argued Guida had a perversion towards children. The court heard the offending began in February 2020, just months after Guida was released from jail.
Throughout the half-hour sentencing, Tess Knight glared at Guida, who appeared via a video link from jail. She never took her eyes off him. He never once looked up.
Magistrate James Gibson outlined the case against Guida, who was arrested at his southwestern Sydney home during a surprise visit by police 2 weeks ago. He said Guida had searched the internet for a variety of child pornographic websites. The pornographic material was directed at young children or teenagers. Guida also accessed an animated video about a character known as Samantha.
Guida is a smart man and he'd made efforts to conceal what he was researching and what he was doing, discussed at the searches that he was making. I won't repeat them for people who are listening to this, but it was pretty bad.
Because the Director of Public Prosecutions decided the case would not be elevated to the District Court, the local court magistrate was limited in the punishment he could hand down. In the District Court, the maximum penalty is 5 years. In the local court, 2. Mr Gibson said Guida was a recidivist pedophile and there was little chance he could ever be rehabilitated.
Guida was sentenced to a maximum 3 years jail with a non-parole period of 2 years and 3 months. His earliest possible release date is December 2024.
Tess Knight is just relieved that he has once again been taken off the streets and is back behind bars.
If he's released again, then we'll all be back here and we'll continue the fight.